Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Quinn Street Project. I'm Miss Danielle, and we also have with us,
Hi, I'm Mr. Bryan. My pronouns are he and him.
and my pronouns are she, her. We are back for our third lesson out of 10, and today we're going to be talking about theater of the oppressed. Now, before we start, I would like Mr. Bryan to help us with a warm up. Can you do that?
I would love to. All right. Then before we warm up, I want to step into the space here. I want to check in with how we're feeling. So let me ask you right now, everyone, make sure you clear out your space around you. Make sure you have just like a comfortable space around. So clear out anything on the floor. I want us for this part to sit up straight or stand up, just as long as we see you on camera, as long as you see yourself on camera. Be able to stretch your arms out without bumping into anything. Reach up for the sky and really just check in with yourself. All right, because what I want to do right now is sitting up straight or standing up straight. I want you to make sure sitting up tall or standing up tall, feet are planted into the ground. I want you to take a look at the camera, and now close your eyes and take a big deep breath in, and take a big deep breath out. I want you to take one more big deep breath in. Breathe in all the extra right now, all the silly, and hold it and take a big deep breath out. Exhale, just let it all go. And now what I want you to do is reach your hands forward, cross your wrists, interlock your fingers, pull your hands all the way under, reach through, take a big deep breath in, release your hands, and breathe out. All right, and hug yourself, pat your arms, pat your shoulders. And I wonder what I want you to do now is rotate your shoulders backwards, rotate your shoulders backwards, rotate your shoulders forward. Let's do it like 3 times, 3 and 2 and 1. And now what I want you to do is reach your hands up high as you can, as high as you can, and drop one hand, drop the other hand, wave your hands to the left, wave your hands to the right, and wave in the air like you just don't care. And now freeze, drop one arm, but not the shoulder. Drop the other arm, but not the shoulder. Take one more big deep breath in, breathe in, those shoulders up high. Exhale, release. Excellent. And now what I want you to do right now is close your eyes and slowly drop your head. And now, my friends, with your eyes closed, I'm going to keep mine open. With your eyes closed, they'll hold up 1 finger, 2 finger, or 3 fingers. Now, if you hold up 1 finger, that means we're doing not so great. We're checking in. If you hold up 2 fingers, 2 is okay. If you're holding up 3 fingers, you're having a good day. So what I want you to do right now is, with your eyes closed, hold up those fingers. 1 is not so good, 2 is okay, 3 is good. And show me how you're feeling today. Check in with yourself. And let that go, let that go. And with your eyes still closed, take a big deep breath in. Big deep breath out. All right, my friends. And I want you to think of one word that describes how you're feeling today. One word. First thought, best thought. And I want you and everyone here and my friends, I want you to just blurt out that one word that describes how you're feeling on the count of 3. All right? 1, 2, 3. So.
Busy.
All right. And at your own pace, open your eyes and slowly roll up your head. All right, my friends. Hi again. And now what we're going to do is we're going to move into our lesson. All right. And today's lesson is all about, well, it's all about theater of the oppressed. And what we're going to move into right now is the activity images of power. And right now, what I want you to do, quite simply, but this doesn't need over explanation, I want you to take physically. So get off the couch, get off the floor. I know it's cold, but right now I want you to take the strongest position physically possible. All right. I don't want you to think about it too much. So on the count of 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. And now I want you to take a different strong position on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And on the count of 2, take a different strong position. 1, 2. All right. And now let that go. Let that go. And now what I want to do, Miss Danielle, can I borrow you for a second?
Sure.
All right. So talking power, we're talking strongest position possible. So what I want to do right now is that same thing. I want you to, from what we just did, warmed up a little bit in our brains, take the most powerful position possible physically, whatever that means to you, Miss Danielle. All right, ready, set, go. All right, and now from this position, Miss Danielle, I want you to make it even stronger, whatever that means to you. If this is on a scale of 1 to 10, if this is a 5 and 1 is the least powerful and 10 is the most, can you make it a 10? Oh my goodness. And freeze in that position. Excellent. And now, my friends, Miss Danielle, I'm going to have you relax a little bit right now because I'm not going to keep you in that position. Now, this is what I'm going to say. That was excellent. Can we all give a round of applause for Miss Danielle? Round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. Now, my friends, what I'm going to have us do now is we're going to take, I want to phrase this right. We're going to have Miss Danielle help us out because instead of actually moving her, we're going to ask her if she can adjust. And we're going to have Miss Danielle adjust 1 or 2 things. So Miss Danielle, can you take that position one more time? Excellent. That's already really strong. And now, Miss Danielle, I'm going to ask your permission. Can you, I want to, my friends, I want to make this even more powerful. Now, take a look at Miss Danielle. How would you make Miss Danielle even more powerful? She's already really, really powerful right now. Miss Danielle, I'm going to make the suggestion. Can you raise your chin up just a little bit and keep that same face, keep that same powerful face? Excellent. And now I'm thinking in terms of the frame that we have here, because power isn't just how we're positioned, it's also in relation to our audience. And my friends, our audience is at home watching this. That's you. So what I want us to do, can you adjust what you're doing, Miss Danielle, so that way we see more of you in the frame. So right now.
Yes.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. Excellent. And now what I want to do right now is, let me see. Can you, I want you to take a big, deep, last thing, Miss Danielle, could you take a big, deep breath into your shoulders and still keeping that same face? Excellent. All right, and let that go, Miss Danielle, because that was plenty. Thank you. And it wouldn't be fair, Miss Danielle, if I didn't ask the same thing of, to over here. So do you mind adjusting 1, 2, however many things you like? I'm going to take a position and we're just going to flip it around just so we see audience at home what we're, just that sort of experience. So let me try a position here. Well, actually, just give me a go, Miss Danielle.
Go ahead. All right. Can you turn your head more towards your arm? With your chin up a little bit? Yeah. And then any way you can pull out from the frame a little bit more, back up.
Okay.
Yeah. And straighten your back arm.
Up, up.
Straighten and keep it
Oh,
a little higher. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. There we go.
awesome. And my friends at
Good.
home, what would you do? What's one thing I can't hear? I know, but what's one thing you would do to adjust this image to be even more powerful? I'm curious myself. I'm gonna let that go. All right. And now, my friends at home, let me see here. What I want you to do right now is I want you at home. I don't know. Again, I can't see you, but I want you to take the most powerful position you think possible. All right. And now, what's one, two, or three things you might do to adjust yourself to be even more powerful? Now, if you have a partner, or if you're doing this in a group, or with an adult, or even with a friend, you could take turns going back and forth. One person is kind of like the clay. They take an image, or they form themselves into a powerful image. And then remember, my friends, ask permission. Don't just dive right in. I know sometimes we just get excited. Ask permission. Once you see that image, that person next to you, or that person on your screen, how would you adjust them to become more powerful? And something I notice right now is when powerful seems to be just from this little experiences, we're standing up tall, we're sitting up tall, our chins are up, we're power seems to be from a higher position. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean always the case, but it's really it's a feeling from what we see. So trust yourselves and just see where it takes you in terms of that clay, how we adjust to becoming, quote unquote, powerful. All right. Now, let me see. Actually, since we're doing this activity, what would happen if Miss Danielle, what would can you take the least powerful position possible, whatever that means to you? Yeah. And I'm gonna say, what is different, my friends at home, about this position versus when we were powerful? We kind of shrink down, we get smaller, right? All right, Miss Danielle, you can relax on that. And my friends at home, play with that, see where it takes you, and high five to the screen. Boom. And now what I want to do is give your laser focus back to Miss Danielle, and we're gonna explore a little bit more along the same lines, but a little different.
Okay. So, what we did right there with images of power is something called image theater. And that was used a lot by a theater maker named Augusto Boal. He's a Brazilian artist and activist. He worked a lot in the mid to late 20th century. Now, what he liked to do was get the audience engaged in the theater. Normally, when you think of a theater, even like going to a movie, right? You're there just to watch and you don't engage with the actors and interact with them. Well, Augusto Boal liked to have the audience interact with the actors on the stage. And so what we did with the image of the oppressed was have all of you involved in changing the images of power. So we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to try and act some scenes out. So we call that forum theater. And how we're going to do that is we're going to create like a little story or a situation based on a problem that we might have. So I'm going to think, hmm, Mr. Bryan, do you have a problem? I'm trying to think of one, but if you come up with one before me, we'll use that.
Sure. I guess Miss Danielle, I always have some problem I'm thinking of, but in the moment, when you have to like come up with one on the spot.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say uh it's just because lately I've been running into it more. Uh I don't know if this helps, but just running into a lot of just people leaving their trash everywhere.
Mm, that is a problem.
You know.
So we'll use this as our situation today. So let's pretend that we're outside, right? And maybe Mr. Bryan's walking down the street, and I decide I'm gonna throw some. Now I would never do this normally. Okay, we're just pretending. I throw my trash on the ground. What are we gonna do? Okay, so when I say action, we're gonna start this little skit. Are you ready, Mr. Bryan?
Who am I?
And action. I'm done with these.
Um, oh, excuse me.
Oh, hi, how are you?
Hi. I'm sorry. I couldn't help but notice. I'm sure you were in a rush, but you threw your banana peel. Just just you threw it
Oh
and the
yeah,
trash.
I was done with it.
Right. I was still planning on hanging out in this general area, and the compost is just right there. Just wondering.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, I'll go put it in there. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, no problem. I'm sorry. I have to be here, and I don't want to have to pick up anything. And then, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too.
And see.
All
Oh,
right. How
so
was
that
that?
was our. What do we think of that? Think about what you would have done differently. Is there something else you would have said to the person that was littering? What if I what if I was more angry in response? Because
Mm,
sometimes that happens, right? The person you're talking to isn't very nice. So sometimes we might need to change what we say. Now, you can use this situation yourself or you can come up with another one, but I want you to think of what, when you're coming up with your solutions to these problems, what can you do specifically to help solve the problem? Okay. Sometimes we'll have another grown up or a friend there that can help us, but sometimes it's just us and we have to solve the problem on our own. But the great thing about forum theater, when we're coming up with these problems together, is that you can use all of your audience members to help you find out how to create a solution to your problem. So I want you to pause this video. And if you're with a friend or your class or a grown up, you can try a couple of problems out together and see how you would solve them. Okay. So
And
take
Miss
a quick
Danielle,
pause.
I was going to say, if I could add on, I just wanted to say, like, when we're doing this, when we're brainstorming, maybe I want us to think about putting ourselves in the other person's shoes because, like Miss Danielle said, maybe sometimes they won't be as receptive, won't, be happiest to hear you telling them not to dump their
Not to
trash.
litter.
But
That's
re-
right. Hmm.
but remember, my friends, we don't know the kind of day that everyone is having. So I want us to just consider maybe if they're having a bad day, maybe they are in a rush, maybe they're late, maybe they got a flat tire. Just consider that maybe they're not having the best day and to be understanding of the other person and to think the best of them going into it because sometimes we all need someone that's just calm and understanding. And sometimes we just need someone to listen. And maybe sometimes that's, the difference between someone that will be receptive and someone that won't. Just that mindset of going into it.
Right.
And that's all I was going to throw in there.
You can even do your scenes one same scene multiple times and come up with different versions, different endings to your problem. Right.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Yeah.
Really think about that. Come on back to us when you're done. All right. Welcome back. How many problems were you able to solve today? I know sometimes, even for myself, if I have a problem, I don't always have a friend to talk to, but I try and think of ways that I can solve the problem. I create little stories in my head, which is kind of what we did today, but with real people. I hope you enjoyed that. I think, Mr. Bryan, isn't there another type of theater that we usually do?
There is another type of theater, and that is actually it's called invisible theater.
Ooh,
Invisible theater is not, unfortunately, it's not a magic trick, and it's not something that just happens. It's
yeah.
happening in the background right now, right behind me. Do you see it? No, it's not. Invisible theater is actually Bilal had another type of theater where it involves actors performing a written and rehearsed, sorry, tangled up, written and rehearsed problem in a public place. And the audience doesn't know that they are taking part in the theater. They are, much in the spirit of Bilal, experiencing it to just get just a response, an honest response. So imagine you're just walking, you're leaving the grocery store, and then all of a sudden you see a situation happening between two people, and it might make you feel, it might make you react, and you find out that it's actually invisible theater because it's actually rehearsed, it's actually practiced, it's actually been written down beforehand, and these actors specifically chose that spot, specifically chose that piece to get the audience involved, to feel something. And it sounds like quite the experience. It sounds like just it's bold, right? I think that's the word I'm looking for. It's bold because theater invokes change, invokes feeling, and I'm saying that word a lot, but just imagine that situation, because that, to get a response, that sometimes you need that. And Boal, it created this form of theater for that itself. And I don't know how else to explain it, Miss
Yeah,
Danielle.
I think maybe it, the theater is so powerful that it allows you to think about things in a different way that you didn't think about it before. So
Yeah.
maybe if you saw two people disagreeing about whether they should use paper or plastic bags at the grocery store, you think, maybe I should start switching to paper because it's probably better to use the paper bags. But maybe you didn't think of that before until the problem was in front of you and you were watching it happen.
Oh, I like that. I like that explanation even
That just
more.
came to me.
Yeah. The problem is in front of you, my friends, and it's presented in such a passionate, strong way. And you're there. You're there and you have to react. It's not a matter of you can just avoid it. It's there and you have to. So, yeah, bravo. Thanks, Miss Danielle.
Thank you. And thank you everybody for joining us today. We had a great time. I
Yeah.
hope this made you think of some of your own problems and how you can solve them.
And before we head out, my friends, we're going to close out with closing your eyes and drop your heads. And I want you to think about what we've done today. And we performed lesson 3, Theater of the Oppressed. Before we go, we already did. We talked about Augusto Boal, and we talked about that Brazilian theater maker and activist. We talked about theater of the, we talked about image theater, foreign theater, invisible theater. We did some images of power. We shifted around. We talked about the foreign theater in terms of how to solve a problem, just invoking that idea of just working it out, going back and forth. We talked about an invisible theater and just that reaction, that feeling, as Miss Danielle put it, the problem is in front of us and we have to deal with it. We have to react. All right, we did a lot today. Whew, that was a mouthful, and that was just a summary. My friends, how are you feeling right now? How are you feeling after all that? That was a lot. A 1, not so good. 2, okay. 3, pretty good. And hold it up. And now take a big deep breath in And bring those fingers down. Exhale. Slowly roll your head up, eyes open, and wave a big goodbye. And we'll see you next time, my friends. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.